Welcome back to another video on my channel. If you don't know me, I'm Rakel, and today I want to discuss a beginner's guide to becoming more spiritual. I felt really compelled to share this because sort of towards the end of last year and throughout the whole of this year, I've just been thrust into a really transformational spiritual awakening and a spiritual journey at the very ripe age of 18, which is not a very common thing for an 18-year-old to experience. Because I'm so young, I'm learning sort of how to integrate this into my youth and everything that I'm sort of pursuing and the way I'm approaching my life at this time. I felt that it may help some of you who also feel called to explore this part of yourself and live your life in a way that feels really fulfilling and meaningful. As a preface, there are so many stereotypes as what it means to live as a spiritual being and what it means to be spiritual in this day and age. And I feel like people place a lot of pressure on themselves, feel like they need to conform to these specific patterns and rituals and behaviors in order to partake in it, but that's not true. And I really want to break apart all of that and really show you how spirituality is something that can be super accessible to everyone, and it doesn't need to look one way, and it doesn't need to significantly diverge from your mundane life. First off, you don't need to buy things to be spiritual. I feel like there's this misconception that you need to go buy a bunch of crystals and tarot and oracle decks and all these things in order to be deemed a spiritual person, and that if you don't have them, there's a feeling of inadequacy there. But that is not true at all. Those things really need to be viewed as tools. They're tools, they're not essential. If you really want to explore New Age spirituality, all you need is one thing: yourself. You need yourself, that's all. The other things can be helpful. They can be really cool. I mean, I have a pendulum, I have a little range of tarot and oracle decks which I like to use or for asking questions sometimes, and I have a collection of crystals as well, but I don't rely on my crystals and I don't like use them a whole lot. I think what's really important is that you don't want to use these things as a crutch and see it as a bit of a disempowering thing, like you need the object to do XYZ, because it's not true. It's just they can offer maybe supporting energies, or with the cards they can help answer questions, but you should never fully rely on it, and you should always use your own being to embrace that part of yourself and to connect. So just remember that, because some of this stuff can be a bit pricey, and I really want people to know that you don't need crystals, you don't need a deck to get good energy, to connect with your spirit guides. Like, you don't need it. It's cool to have, but you don't need it. However, if there is one thing that makes me feel extra magical, it's really good jewelry. I really love jewelry, in particular gold jewelry. I'm a gold jewelry girl. Today I am wearing this gorgeous chain. It's short, and these little sunflower gold huggies with a little gemstone in the middle. I'm pretty sure it's moonstone. They are so pretty and they make me feel so magical and very luxurious. These pieces are from Ana Luisa, and Ana Luisa is one of my favorite jewelry brands. One, because they have an amazing range, very high quality, really stunning pieces, and their pieces are just so pretty. I just want to buy the whole store. And the second reason why I really love Ana Luisa is because it's a very conscious brand. This year they were actually certified as a climate neutral brand after going carbon neutral in 2020, which is really amazing because it means that they offset the environmental impact of their jewelry production. And all their materials are high quality, sustainably sourced and transparently sourced, eco-friendly packaging, very climate conscious production process. Those are things that are all really important, as becoming a conscious consumer is so much more pressing in today's day and age. A huge percentage of their jewelry is also from recycled materials, which is amazing. Now, I will have you know that Ana Luisa is actually hosting a huge Black Friday sale this month. It's buy one, get one 60% off, which is absolutely huge. I highly recommend that you check out the link in the description box below. I will also link the pieces that I'm wearing in this video. Make sure you grab something before this sale ends because it's the biggest sale of the year and you really don't want to miss out. Now, the second thing that you need if you want to become more spiritual is an open mind. This isn't something that's really spoken about, but I think being open-minded is so important because you need to be willing to learn new things about yourself and about the world. There's a lot of expectations and false realities and limiting beliefs and things like that that are so embedded in the world that we live in and that we also play onto ourselves, and that affects our self-perception. So dismantling these things is absolutely crucial to embodying a spiritual journey. You kind of need to be willing to be wrong. And I think the concept of open-minded also comes in the sense of being open to possibility, being open to the thought of having a team of beings who are literally contracted to support and guide you throughout your entire human journey on this earth. Realizing that helps you remember that you're not alone and that you're always being guided, and it helps you open up to really deepen those connections and the possibility of things like past lives and different dimensions, the existence of various beings on different dimensions on and off this planet. In some of these cases, we've been told that it's just make-believe or it's not real. You can take or leave anything that I'm saying right now if it doesn't resonate with you, but I'm putting it out there. That's why having an open mind is so important, because the more open you are to anything being possible, the more magic you invite into your own life and the more possibility and growth is available to you. What spirituality is truly about is a commitment to your own growth and self-development. It's not about sitting there meditating and singing Kumbaya. It's being committed to do everything you can to take the path that offers the most potential for you, the most alignment, that's the most fulfilling for you, that's going to bring you the most abundance, and abundance in however you define that word. It doesn't necessarily mean money. The things that for you personally constitute a happy, fulfilled, comfortable life. I think that's what I've been really getting out of from my spiritual journey, is it's giving me all the keys I need to take that path, because we have free will. Remember that, we have free will. Whilst there are things that our souls may have planned it or intended to do, we do have free will, and we have to consciously choose to take that path. We can settle for something else that we're capable of doing, but perhaps won't necessarily be the most fulfilling for us. Or we can choose that path of highest alignment, of the most alignment. That's what spirituality really enables you to do and what it helps cultivate within you. And as you move through that journey, you are able to unpack so much within yourself, make amazing connections with other people. You don't feel so victimized by life anymore. It changes your perception on everything for the better. Another tool for a beginner who is diving into spirituality is to use the resources we have available to us in the digital age. Use the web. Disclaimer, there is a lot of false information out there or distortions of what's actually true, but the internet can still be a really good resource for just dipping your feet into the pool and just opening your mind to different possibilities and everything like that. Read books. There are a ton of books that are about various concepts like spirit guides, the new earth and the great awakening, various multidimensional and galactic races. There's books about soul contracts, past lives, the Akashic records. It truly goes on. It can be really, really informative, I suppose. Loads of really good YouTube videos out there, and lots of YouTube channels about people who are sort of in this metaphysical, spiritual community that have lots of content that's really informative and will really help you get a better understanding of certain topics or concepts that you might be interested in. So literally just search anything into YouTube, even if it seems crazy and you don't expect there to be videos on it. There probably are. And use social media as well to maybe find other people who you want to learn from or who inspire you or who offer the sort of content that will help you become more accustomed to spirituality. There's heaps. I follow so many. Hit me up and I will provide you with the goods. Another thing that's really important to mention is that there is no right or wrong when it comes to this. There is no right way to be spiritual. I personally don't put crystals in my bra. I don't wear the genie pants. I do yoga sometimes, but I'm still really clumsy. I am vegan, but that's not a prerequisite to being spiritual either. Don't judge yourself if you don't feel like that you don't fit this stereotype of what it means to be spiritual, because that's just made up. It is made up. We're not all supposed to be the same. The whole point is we're supposed to be ourselves and sort of embrace this way of living our lives and being in touch with ourselves. You need to follow your own resonance. Do what feels right for you. Follow and try on what feels right for you, not what feels right for someone else. There are some people in this like spiritual community, not that there's anything wrong with them, but they're really like love and light to you all, blessings everyone, and that's great. Like I know some people and they're like really nice people, but you don't need to be like that. I personally just don't talk like that naturally. It's not natural for me to talk like that, and that's okay. I'm sarcastic. I can be a bit emotionally devoid at times in the way I interact with people, or mainly my family. They call me a cold. And you can be spiritual and still swear. Like, it's okay. And if meditating every day is not what feels good for you, then don't do it. Did I just say that? Did I just say that you don't need to meditate every day to be spiritual? Yes, I did. It's good to try to meditate every now and then, whenever it feels right for you, but you don't need to sit there every morning chanting Om. If that doesn't feel good for you and that doesn't feel like that's what helps you get grounded and connect, and it feels uncomfortable, you don't need to do it. What is important though, if you want to move into spirituality, is incorporating mindfulness, because you can do things that are meditative in really different ways. You can go on like a meditative walk and that's being mindful. You can go on a walk and listen to music that just like really soothes your soul and that's really dreamy and ethereal. I do that. I just feel so dreamy when I'm going on my walk and I'm like, wow, life is magical. This is amazing. How am I even real? But it's different from like going on a walk and listen to like some rap or hardcore like doof music and being like, oh yeah. I digress. You can also mindfully prepare a meal and eat. Eat your meal in silence, not in front of the TV or anything like that. Just you, your food, and just really paying attention to how it tastes and everything. And that's being mindful. Mindfulness is also journaling, if that's something that you're interested in. I know that really helps for me when I'm drawn to it, but I don't do it every day. I don't feel called to do it every day, but it's a good way to be mindful, be present, organize your thoughts. And then of course meditation, but you can do that in a variety of ways. You can even just sit outside in nature or in your room and just sit in silence and breathe. Just be present. And then when you notice thoughts come in, try to push them out of your mind and just be really present in the here and now. Observe your surroundings, really pay attention to them, and that's being mindful. Also, watching the screen time. This is something I personally still struggle with. Like there'll be many times where I'm just mindlessly scrolling on my phone and I'm like, what is my goal here? Like, what am I doing? Even though I love consuming content because I do get lots of inspiration. I have 2 separate Instagram accounts which I use a lot. It's important to not get too sucked into the mindlessly scrolling, the addiction, the dopamine hits, suck the life out of you in every spare minute that you have. So do be more mindful of how much time you're spending on your screen. Substitute it for reading, perhaps. And taking this time to truly incorporate more mindfulness into our daily routines and to slow down is so important, because in the hustle and bustle that seems to be life in the 21st century, we have so much noise filling up our everyday lives that sometimes it's hard to hear that voice within, or hard to hear that divine guidance. So when you do take the time to really listen and to be slower, to be present, to not be in the past, and then to not spend too much time in the future, that's when you really get those inspirations, motivation, messages, etc. It's also something that having a 4-month lockdown this year pushed me to do. That's a story for another video, but so many things that got shifted internally, and so many downloads and realizations and epiphanies come through just because I had that time to listen and to be still. The next thing on our beginner's guide is to learn how to flow with and really support your physical body. Our body is the vessel for our soul, and our body needs to feel safe and supported to ensure that our soul can truly settle in and is able to go on to exploring these spiritual things properly. That means nourishment, and this goes in 2 ways. We need to make sure that, one, we're eating enough, and that you're not overexerting your body. Overexertion in the form of over-exercising or just burning yourself out in general with work and socializing and not giving your body time to rest. When we're living like that, we're living on fight or flight mode, and our body's just trying to survive. It's not able to be focusing on the next level spiritual sort of stuff, because the physical side of things isn't sorted yet, so you can't go exploring beyond that. If you are eating enough, then make sure that you're being somewhat mindful of what you're putting into your body. I'm not saying never eat junk food, never eat a burger, not at all, but try to make sure that you are getting some healthy foods in, because it's really important that our body's getting all the nutrients that we need to really thrive and be healthy. But at the end of the day, just listen to what your body's asking you to do. Whether it's taking a rest, whether it's skipping your workout one morning, whether it's sleeping more, eating a burger instead of a salad, or whether it's having a smoothie one morning instead of cereal. Just making sure that you're listening to all the cues, because our bodies are talking to us all the time. Because if you're doing that, you're giving your body what it needs, you're really ensuring that the foundation is there. You can then start attuning to other dimensions and getting those sort of divine downloads and divine messages and things that you might call activations. You might even start feeling like head pressures, not in a sense of a headache, but energy sort of swirling around your crown area. Following on from the point of flowing with our body is to embrace a childlike curiosity. That is absolutely key when it comes to embarking on a more spiritual path. And I know this because I've done it myself. Putting pressure on yourself and taking it seriously is not the way to go. It's just not going to get you to the place you want to be. We too often take life way too seriously and place these ridiculous expectations and pressures on ourselves. When you go about your life with this innocent, childlike curiosity, where you're just willing to be welcomed by any possibilities or new opportunities to come your way, or new information, that's when our life truly starts changing. Try to go about your day with a sense of lightness about you, a thirst for new experiences, new insights, new connections. That will really open doors for you and help so many magical things come your way. So that is everything in my beginner's guide to spirituality. I really hope that you enjoyed it and it resonated with you and you got some valuable insights out of it, because I wanted to just speak about this in a way that would make sense and be open to everyone, and that anyone, no matter where they're at, is able to incorporate. And just a reminder to check out the link in my description to Ana Luisa's site to check out their Black Friday sale. You really don't want to miss out on the buy one, get one 60% off sale. I hope you find something that you enjoy on there. Now, if you like this video, I would love if you could give it a thumbs up, perhaps subscribe to my channel, or leave a comment about what you thought or what you gained from it. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. Until next time.